Hey, no, it's going to be a kobold. Kobold, it's a character from a chap named Mega Tokyo Fan 666, and so it's a kobold in manticore armor sitting on a wolf. So, and obviously I'm just kind of exploring around right now. Thank you, sir. But we have a long ways to go. But we'll see how it goes. He's got some weapon that I'm not familiar with, so I'm waiting to see if he comes on tonight because I want to talk to him about the weapon. Hey, Death Soul. You snuck in there. Your color is the same as Gnome Drunkski, so I didn't notice you. So the night's going good. Night's going good. So far, so good. Just started. Just kind of goofing around right now. Seeing what comes out the pencil. I have to look up what kobolds look like. Besides lizard people. Oh yeah, they're little dragon spawn, aren't they? A little broader in the shoulders, smaller in the stomach. Yeah, don't feel you're obligated. I'm not sure how long I'll be tonight, to be honest. So, I'm not planning on being here too long tonight. But you never know. I have too good of a time drawing this too, so. But yeah, when you gotta go, you gotta go. No worries, Death Soul. Come and go as you please. Death Soul, thank you very much. Yeah, fire away. You can ask me anything. I always feel insecure about my art. I've always just only sketched for myself, except for when I took art classes. I didn't show too many people my art, because when you're learning, you're always going to be hypercritical of yourself. You are literally your worst critic. But I don't think the insecurity ever goes away. I think it just lessens as you get more skilled. But you're always, I bet you're always a little worried that you may not raise the bar or may not perform on your next drawing. Not that our lives are, you know, unworkable. I just think artists in general are really sensitive in doing good work. I think some artists are. I think the ones that want to be good are. And how do I work through it? You know, you practice. You hear that from everyone, and it really is you can't get away from it. Practice helps you in a lot of ways. But the thing is, you got to practice with purpose. So you can't just doodle and, you know, like I can't, if I'm drawing a face, right? I'm like, oh, I'm going to practice drawing faces. And I draw my face like this every time, you know, then I'm only going to get better drawing a little cartoon face. But how do I get to that face from this face? Drawing with purpose, practice with purpose. So instead of me practicing this type of stuff, you know, I'll go online and draw a reference a lot. That helps. And realize that if I want to draw a shape like this, you know, maybe a little bit more like that. So I don't know if that answers it very well, but practice with purpose will make you better. As you get better, you'll feel more secure about your art. You know, if the professionals are monitoring you or if they're watching you, then there's something about your art that they like, or they want to support someone who's trying to draw or trying to learn. And you can usually tell when someone is serious about their art or if it's just a hobby for them. And so you'll get different levels of support depending on what you're trying to accomplish. But there's no magic to, well, I'll take it back. I think the magic is you just got to practice and get better. And as you get better, you'll get more confident. And going on Twitch, for me, totally helped my confidence. I mean, it's a couple of things. I got serious about drawing, so I've been drawing a couple drawings a week, or at least one a week. And thankfully, all you guys' comments have been very encouraging, so that gives me some strength there, and I keep on going and keep practicing. And each drawing, I try to raise the bar. You may not always see it, but I try to do more and just get better with each drawing. And I think that's another secret, is you gotta task yourself to try to be better with every drawing you do. And the other thing is, you got to get to the point where you just are not going to care about other folks. The way I look at it is, it's not my place to critique someone's work unless they specifically ask for it. So I do think it's kind of rude to start critiquing someone's work if they haven't asked you for a critique. But if they do critique, I mean, just take it graciously. Like that, and that might sound harsh, maybe it's harsher than it is, because I've actually had a couple folks on stream, you know, sort of give critiques, and they were very polite, very appropriate, and there was no problem. I was actually very thankful for it. And I think that's the other thing, is like I got to the point where it's like, you know what, I'm just so not into ego, and I appreciate everyone's opinion, and someone's going to come up with a better idea. And there's been some really good ideas, so I absolutely listened to that too. So there are critiques for critique's sake, and then there's suggestions that someone might have that might make the art better. And you gotta just not let it get to you, even if you don't agree with it, because it's still your choice. You decide. And you're not always going to agree. Thank you, Death Soul. Yeah. I've seen some artists online who are, they got some pretty big egos. But they're like, they can be insanely skilled, so you kind of earn it. And at least in the comic book industry, and there's a lot of politics, so I think some of the artists who just kind of get beaten up with the politics, and they start fighting back or something. I don't know. But that's my thing. I know what my level is, and I know what my level isn't. So if anyone has a suggestion, I'm all ears, because now's the best time for me to learn from everyone. But yeah, it's tough. That's all I got to say about that. I feel like I'm babbling there. How do you control a wolf mount? Does it just automatically know what you want, or does it need a bit? I got plenty of babble. Let's see. It's something I hesitate asking. Like said, some artists have egos the size of Jupiter, and to be honest, I've been bullied by others on social media and in real life because of my art. You know, that's their problem, because I think the real artists will understand that everyone is an artist if they put pen and pencil to paper and want to draw something. If anyone critiques your art too much, like, wait, hold on. Yeah. So if anyone tries to critique your art too much, it might be they're jealous. My philosophy, if anyone critiques anything too hard, I just say, do better. If that's the way you feel, do better. Usually shuts people up. Now, there are a lot of humble artists too, so I'm not saying being an artist means you're going to get a big ego, but some of them have some pretty big egos. I don't know about the fantasy artists. I haven't really interacted with any of them, so my thing is the comic book artists. Now, I will say, no one on Twitch so far, have I seen, has had ego. So that's one of the reasons why I enjoy Twitch too, because I'm like, wow, you know, everyone's here, kind of nice. There's Mega. Hey, Mega. It's a good time to come in here because I didn't really want to go further on the doodle without getting some feedback from you. And I want to definitely talk about that weapon, that special weapon too. So, from the description, let me see what I pull from the description and we can talk about the weapon. Because it's really just that Hesty Slayer. This is a completely made up weapon, right? So there's nothing online to reference with it? No, he's not leaping or anything. I mean, there's no ground plane yet, but he's going to be standing on the ground. I'll probably have some rocks. I'm not going to do too much of a background because the full figures doesn't really do that, but I might do some silhouetted trees in the moonlight. Like, that's what I was thinking, like moon in the background with some silhouetted trees maybe. And there might be some foliage here. Some rock and stuff. So that's pretty much his ground plane right here. And then I gotta draw the other paws and stuff. So it's a little bit of, we see the prey, a little bit of a hunting pose, but not quite cliched hunting pose. They have more of a straight back tail. Yeah, no problem. I mean, it's the funny thing is, I will help any way I can. Honestly, you know, I feel like there are so many other people who are just so much more skilled and might be better people to ask, but don't let that stop you. I don't mind talking and chit-chatting and giving an opinion. And then just take my opinion with a grain of salt, and you can agree and not agree. Or not. It's also Okay, so it's made from obsidian timber. Does that mean the blade itself is obsidian timber? Or is it the handle is obsidian timber? And when I think scimitar, right? Curved blade. Right? So, does that mean drop the handle? Cut the handle off? Alright, Death Soul. Have a good sleep. We'll see you next time. I don't know what carburized steel is. So the blade is metal. We'll just keep it simple for now. So the blade's metal, the handle and the reinforcement are obsidian timber. So when you say reinforcement, what are you talking about? So we know it's a battle axe. No, we know it's not a battle axe. It's taking the scimitar blade. So we don't need the handle, because we're going to start with the blade, and it's used like a battle axe. So if that's a scimitar blade, does it have like a pole in the middle? Kind of like that? Maybe something along those lines. Okay, so this one is going the right direction. It almost sounds like you're describing a khopesh. That's a khopesh. Something like a khopesh. Okay, it's not the full blade. Okay, it's likely half that for regular battle axe. Okay, so I'm assuming the top half. Yeah, khopesh is a curved sword. So if this is the handle of a khopesh, usually the metal comes out and it has a curve on it. And they were Egyptian weapons, and they were used earlier. They're sort of like a battle axe, but it's a sword. It's actually a type of sword. So the blade is on this edge. This is usually just straight metal, And then they got their round handles and a pommel. It might be K-H-O-P-E-S-H. Yeah, if there's an axe that's close to it, because I do want you to be happy with your weapon. I don't want you to get something that's like, that's not what I want. So we may spend the most time just figuring out your weapon. But I think that's time well spent. Okay, so let's just do something simple. So we have a wood handle. This might be a type of battle axe. Okay. So yours, perhaps. We have a wood handle. Now, are you thinking the scimitar blade attaches from the top? It might be like this. Or are you thinking the scimitar blade attaches from the bottom? And it might be more like this. The blade of the scimitar is used and then melted to finish the axe head, so it's a thinner axe head look. Alright, so we can get rid of these two. And I'm just gonna, first off, I'm gonna save this guy. And new. Nope, that's not what I wanted. No template. Okay, so we got a blade, not a blade, we got a handle, some sort. I can add curve to the handle later, we just want to be in. What I don't get is how the scimitar blade is going to be attached. Does it look like a scimitar blade, or is it just the metal from the scimitar is remade into an axe head? You said it's not that one. Okay, so between 1 and 2, what's closest so far? Two is spot on? Okay, so we're getting in the right direction. Okay. Gotcha. Okay. And is it a one-handed weapon or a two-handed weapon? In general. Axes can usually be one or two, but should it have a long shaft or about this length? One-handed, okay. So we can give it a little bit of little handle on the end. You want maybe a little lift of the blade at the top there. And don't be shy to say no. So this edge will be the edge side. Now the handle is going to be that obsidian timber, right? So it's going to be basically a black wood or a very dark wood. Maybe have a little bit of metal on the end there, kind of a band there. Maybe with a wrist hoop. The blade, the handle can be not quite perfect. A little bit gnarled. All right, so in there might be the runes on the handle up there, or the arcane symbols, not necessarily runes. Or do you want symbols down the whole length of the handle? Okay, and then would the blade be almost red hot, like heated metal, or are the symbols sort of gonna emit a fiery heat and a flame-like heat on the blade? I think you mentioned there's like dark smoke too, right? Red hot, okay. Do-do-do. Oh, is that something your DM said? tear into the shadows. Maybe because it's red hot, it emits a little bit of red light. Not too much to glow necessarily. Oh, one of the crafting people, okay. Okay. So are you feeling okay about this weapon? Or you want to do some more tweaks? You know, the handle, do you want it to be a gnarled wood? Or is it meant to be a nice polished, you know, much more perfect handle? Darker blade? Yeah, if it's red hot, what I was thinking is you could almost have carbon black on the outsides of the blade, because those would be slightly cooler. And then the insides would be the red. So you'd sort of get this red core with some black on the outside edges. What do you think of that? Gnarled wood works better. Okay, sounds good. Okay, that works. I'm assuming that was for the carbon black on the outside and a red core, because the timing would be about right for that answer. Okay. Okay. That helps me a ton, so I'm glad you were here and we could chat about that. Yeah, I'm not quite sure we'd be able to get that in a drawing. I mean, if he was holding the weapon in his hand, you know, it might be somewhere like this, the blade going this way. I'm not sure that we're going to see too much runes, to be honest, but we might see some glowiness, and then I can add some effect to make it glow. So yeah, we could probably get something in there. So the other question I had is, you wanted him to hold the spectacles in one hand and the watch in the other. Okay, that kind of answers my question. We could put the axe here then. So if it was on the belt, something like that. So maybe something like that. Well, I was thinking this hand right here will eventually hold the glasses, you know, his spectacles. And then this one right here will hold the watch. Or we can put the watch in a pouch. Your travel pouch. It's going to be up here. Okay, next question, the Manticore armor, or Manticore hide. Now all the manticores that I've seen have the body of a lion, but what did you want your armor to be? It looks like your reference that you sent me, he's got plate, or maybe he looks like he's got plate on the hips and the shoulders at least. Is the rest of the armor leather, hide? Manticore hide, half plate. So I take that it's going to look like leather armor, unless you want not like refined leather. You're wearing a breastplate in the art, okay? It's official armor. I wonder if I can look that up. Oh, okay. Well, there were some drawings. Where'd it go? Manticore armor. There's a woman with manticore armor. Doesn't really look like anything we could use. Manticore armor. Is this D&D or Witcher? Witcher has manticore armor. Doesn't just looks like leather armor to me. No arm guards. Okay, no leg guards. Okay. Okay. I'm still looking for a reference. We'll get there. Manticore armor. D&D, I'm assuming it's 5e. Maybe not. Journey Beyond Hoga Manticore Hide Armor. Well, these may not work, but they look cool. Alright, so let's take a look at this. Anything you like about that armor there? It looks more like leather, but we could maybe borrow something. Where'd the picture go? They don't have the picture. Maybe something like the male in that image. I'm sorry, I missed it. I'm not sure what image I had up at the time you wrote that. Oh. Is it in Discord? Okay. Okay. All right, so those are like thick leather straps crisscrossing in a way. Okay, we can do that. Chest piece, manticore cape cut short. Okay, the shoulders could be included, but obviously not the arm guards and all that. Okay, so let me okay. So I'm going to color some stuff here that he might have. And not that we're going to copy this guy's art, of course, but just to kind of give me an idea. Yeah, you can make the helmet. Okay, so we're going to have something to the effect of the breastplate maybe some shoulder stuff, the belt, and something kind of in front. Okay, so I'll stop right there for a sec. So are we good so far? Oh, and the cape. So we need this, something back here, and some of this cape. Make it shorter. And I remember reading that. Let me go find out what that is again. Enhanced with the shard of watery demise. So is that going to be a gem? A gem in the breastplate? Something right in the middle there? Waves blowing inside deep blue, okay. Is it a diamond shaped round gem? Knuckle sized round? So let's go. It's pretty big. So we can put it in the armor, or do you want to wear it in your belt? Because the belt could still be part of the armor getup. Not processed. Okay, so rough hewn stone of some sort. More organic shaped. Oh, you like the belt idea? Okay. So it's too violet. So a shard of some sort in the belt. Colors are obnoxious on purpose so that it's perfectly clear what we're talking about. Now the rest, okay, so anyway, does that cover what we need to cover for the armor? Is there anything else that you want to add? Okay. Now, how about the kobold's legs? Are they exposed? Or do you want greaves on the lower leg? Probably the foot would be exposed because he's got such a funky dragon foot, right? So, any greaves? Clothing, okay. Yeah, most of the time the greaves will have a belt that attaches on the back end and it's not connected to the armor. Yeah, no, I got it. Okay, so it's okay. Clothing and whatnot, the armor doesn't really link up, and having greaves that don't attach would be awkward. Okay. So no greaves. So he's going to have clothing. Are his feet going to be covered in a shoe or a boot? Or do you want the dragon feet and toes exposed? I know your previous drawing, he has a foot covering of some sort. Okay, boots it is. All right. And then I know he doesn't have gauntlets necessarily, but he could have, you know, wrapped forearms. Or do you think the clothes that he's wearing would be sort of clothing all the way down? Stealthy, okay, so there'll be softer boots, okay. So I think I'm got a pretty good picture. Let's see. You think the half plate would slow me, but it has +3 dex modifier instead of +2. Okay. All right. Clothing and leather gloves or gauntlets. Okay. Perfecto. So I will probably design the armor on the side itself. I mean, I have to remember there's not going to be a whole lot of detail in this picture anyway, but that helps me a lot. So that's all good. I appreciate the time spent to help me understand. Okay. All right, so I'm going to, in general, I like the pose the way it's looking. So let me know if you like it or not. But I think I'm going to give the head of the wolf a little bit of attention. It's not horrible right now, but I think I can probably do it better. It doesn't quite look natural, but of course I don't have the fur in or anything else. And he's a little bit thick in the neck. Let me go check your old reference. So your old reference doesn't have the kobold with I don't know how to explain it. He has more of a human leg. My drawing has more of the animal leg, kind of, or draconius leg. Do you want a human leg or something more along of dragon-like? Okay, so you're saying he should have a fluffier tail, right? Okay, draconic leg, got it. And fluffier tail. Yeah, that's the graphic designer in me. It's all the stuff that I looked at in the reference you gave me, and I'm like, typically he might be draconic, but then you might have preferences, so that's why we're always chatting. Okay. That's why I was asking you if you wanted his feet exposed, because if we make that a boot, right, so he might have the fur up here and then the boot might come down here. A lot of these animal critters might stop the boot right at the ankle and then leave the foot exposed. Okay. That was quick. Welcome back. Plantigrade feet instead of digigrade. Yeah, those are big words for me. Plantigrade, digitigrade. Okay. I'm sure it's the correct terms. I just never use those words. Plantigrade feet. Interesting. So that's the new word of the day. Okay. Alright, so I think I've got the gist. So that's probably all I'm going to do tonight. And then I'm going to pull some reference tomorrow, so I got plenty of reference material. And I'll start doing the blue lines tomorrow. Anything else at this point? Because once I start after this point, it'll be tougher to make changes. Yeah, I haven't forgotten the hat, but let's talk about that. So the hat has to let his horns through, so we'll come back to this again. So the hat to me looks more like a cap, right? Because if the guy's head is something like this, and the eyes are there, so we got the fur band and the cap, and lets the horns through, something like that, right? You never know, might fit the character. So it looks like he got something like that. I can give him a bigger head so that the cap fits around it more. He's happy. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I'll have his horns stick out. Now your reference drawing has him as a green kobold. So is he green, or is he going to be more of a mottled red? Do kobolds have different colors? I've never played the kobolds, so I don't know. Or do they follow sort of colors of dragons? Okay. All right. I think I got a pretty clear picture of what to draw. So like I said, I was thinking of the where's my layer? Some silhouetted trees in the background. So composition wise, they're sort of wrapped around the main image here, because that'll be the main focus. Okay, yeah, no problem. So moon in the background. Maybe he might even be on a road. No, I forgot about that. So yeah, let's talk about the banner. Check my checklist. The tactical retreat. So I'm not quite sure. Is that something that he's wearing sort of like as a stick thing on the back? And he's got a banner like that? I'm not quite sure what it is you're talking about on this banner. Is it just a banner that comes with him, or is it actually attached to him somehow? Go check your description. Colors are bright, sunny tones. The item would be across his back, likely looking overhead myself, but not actually used. So if it's technically a shield, does that mean it's a shield kind of, he's wearing it on his back? And then the symbol is on that? So how would we include that in this drawing? In this pose? Top of the banner is past my shoulders. Pony face with some armor. So is it literally like a square thing? shape like that? Or would it go way up here? I mean, to see a pony face, we almost need something like that showing. If you want any chance of seeing a pony face. Is there a reference? Because I don't understand a banner that someone wears. Wearing a banner. Okay, so is it something like that and he would wear it on his back? Like this one right here? Oh, now I'm messing up my Twitch windows. Where'd it go? Okay. So when you're saying a banner or something like this, maybe? Okay, yeah. So is the banner worn sort of like a cloak for him? Or this is something completely different? Okay. Yeah, I think I'm being pretty dense. Okay, so I'm starting to understand. So the pole might be like he's wearing it like you might wear a great sword on your back, perhaps, and then the banner is hanging from it. Now the banners usually hang down from a bar that goes sideways, but this would be more like a flag, right? Or is it literally a banner that you've taken down from somewhere and he carries with him? Okay. Okay. So he would, does he have some sort of slot in the back of his armor and he puts that banner back there? Okay. So this actually isn't so far off. So if he had a pole on his back, yeah. So maybe something like that. Would it be flapping in the wind? And then he's got the pole there. And I'll figure out how to have a pony there. I think I can make his grin smug. All right. Yeah, I think the hardest part for me is going to be drawing the hand with the eyeglasses. But that's okay. I'm up for the challenge. Okay. Yeah, I can try. Yeah, if he's not trying to put his, because you wanted him to sort of look like he's getting ready to put the glasses on. But if you're okay with him not putting the glasses on, he's just kind of holding the glasses down in his hand, that would be easier, I'm sure. Yeah, and that way having the watch in the backhand would actually be a lot easier to draw, I think, too. You get to have his fingers around it, like that. And then we put the glow in his eyes. Okay. All right. So I think we've got the layout and we've got all the details that we need to get in there. And I think they'll all show up too. I think the tough part would be the pony's face on this little banner here, but you know, I'll do what I can. So yeah, okay, perfect. I've got plenty to work with here. So yeah, like I said, I'm gonna stop here for the night, and then tomorrow I'll pull some more reference. I'll have to doodle another layer. But yeah, we'll keep going. I think it'll look cool. I think it'll look cool. All right, see you tomorrow. And anyone else that might be around, good night, and I hope you guys come back tomorrow too. Might be bots. Touch up the head? Nah, the head I'll put in all the details tomorrow. And the wolf's head, I'll do some tweaking, but not right now. I actually need the reference to get the wolf's head a little bit better. So there'll be plenty of opportunity to tweak that tomorrow though. I've got to thin up his neck a little bit. That's a really thick neck. Okay. See you, Mega. See everyone else tomorrow. Have a great night. Or a great day, actually.